Hello, my name is John Wheat, and welcome to Reflections, where we periodically bring you special programming about the people and events at Trinity Baptist Church. We're here today with Kellee Parish, our new children's minister who recently came to join us at Trinity Baptist Church on staff. And Kellee, we want to just ask you a few questions, and one would be, would you share with us how you came to trust Christ in your life as your Lord and Savior?
Yes, I grew up in a Christian home, and my mom was a prayer warrior, and we read the Bible every night and prayed together as a family. And I began asking questions of my parents when I was about 7, and then she led me to the Lord after a Sunday night service. We sat in the car, and she continued to answer all my questions and led me to the Lord that night. So.
That's so neat. It's good to hear that. We've heard that a couple of times as you've come and spoken before our church, but what a neat opportunity to know that your commitment to Christ really came from family, and that your ministry is a part of family today too, in ministering to children. Tell us a little about your educational background. Where'd you go to school, university, those types of things?
I did my undergrad at Angelo State University in business, and then from there went to work for the convention as an evangelism coordinator, and then went to seminary, Southwestern Seminary, and got an education, my master's in education from there.
Okay. And where else have you served on church staff before?
I have served at Indiana Avenue Baptist Church in Lubbock, and I have served at Sheer Hills Baptist Church in San Antonio and First Baptist Church Oak Hill in Austin.
And all those in children's ministry?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Were you the only children's minister? Did you have someone that worked with you, an assistant or other people that worked around you?
We had teams at Indiana Avenue. There was a large team with a Mother's Day Out program and a ministry assistant, as well as lots of children's workers, and we did everything in team. At Sheer Hills, we had a large team, had a ministry assistant, had an assistant who also did Mother's Day Out, and we also did lots of programming, and any ministry event that we did, we had a team that would come together to help plan and program the ministries.
Okay. I know that ministry never happens by yourself, so what are some of the networks that you're already involved in?
Well, I'm really connected with the BGCT through Dr. Diane Lane. In fact, we're going to a conference here at Trinity. We're going at another sister church in town that Dr. Diane Lane's leading to help teachers have a little bit more information, a little bit extra training that she's leading. So I'm real connected through the children's ministers that are connected through the Baptist General Convention, as well as some of the children's ministers in San Antonio at the San Antonio Baptist Association and some of their leadership. And then we're connected with Highland Lakes Camp and Conference Center. We've served there for the last 10 years, helping program children's ministry and helping do lots of things on camp, whether it's any kind of service, mowing or washing dishes or whatever. So very connected with a lot of people through the camp system as well.
Okay. Who are some of the mentors that you look to in life that help pattern your ministry?
My mom is one of those, because she was telling the story earlier today that my dad thought we moved all over Texas because he was in the oil and gas business, but what we really did, God moved us because my mom started prayer ministries at all the churches that God led them to. And so my mom has always been an amazing prayer warrior and encourager, and knows the Word, and so she's always been a great mentor. Dr. Diane Lane obviously is one of those as well. She is just a wonderful person to bounce ideas off of and ask her what she thinks in children's ministry and all that. She taught at DBU and all of that, so she's got a lot of experience in the church as well as academic. Those are the two main leaders that have really been instrumental in molding me to the children's minister that I am.
What was your children's ministry like as a child and as a youth? What did you grow up under?
Nova Bryant was the Mother's Day Out director at Shallow Terrace in Dallas, and when I was in high school, I went to work for her as her secretary, and I learned a lot of things from her as far as in preschool that I had no idea, which is kind of one of those jobs while you're going to college, or in high school, and then my freshman year in college. But it was really a real blessing that God used it, because He doesn't waste anything. But he used that. I learned a lot about personal ministry. I learned a lot about preschool through Nova. And then Candy Smith was my youth minister, and she really spent a lot of time with me, encouraging me, and then Scott Harrison after that. So all those, of course, when I was a kid, we didn't really have children's ministers. So those youth ministers and the Mother's Day Out directors were real important for me to really learn how to do ministry by example.
Sure. Okay. Tell us about your family.
Well, I'm married to Trace, and we've been married for 11 years. And he has a really amazing servant's heart. And we have 2 schnauzers, Snickers and Shasta, and they keep us fairly occupied. So Trace feels like I do, where God calls, we go, and we are obedient to him and do what God has.
Okay. And if you were to wrap up a passion that you began your day with, it says this is Kellee. What would your passion be?
To be the minister that God has created me to be. When you go into ministry, a lot of people give you lots of advice. Some of it's helpful and some of it's kind of humorous, and some of it's not. But the best advice I got was from a couple where my parents were when they were in Houston, and he said, if you do 2 things, you'll be great in ministry. And he said, love God and love others. And I was like, well, that's great. That's the first and second greatest commandment. But God has brought me back to that over and over again. Love me and love my people. That's the bottom line. And so God continues to remind me of that. You're here to serve. You're here to be a minister. You're here to love others and to walk with people through life and to encourage them and to lead others to the Lord. To point to the Savior constantly. Sure. So that's who God has called me to be. Right.
So. That's awesome. In children's ministry, things happen that are unexpected. What's one of the funniest things that's happened in your children's ministry?
I have to think of a story. I guess I can tell this. We had 2 children in a family up in Lubbock, and they're probably past college age now. And the 5-year-old was a very determined, not real sensitive child, and then the 4-year-old was more of the sensing child. And the mom had a call from her dad. The kids like to go up to his farm and play with the cat, and well, something got the mama cat, and so she was trying to sit the younger one down and break it to him gently that this cat was no longer in the picture when he went. And she wasn't concerned about the older child, so she sat him down and said, you need to know that Mama Kitty died and she's in heaven with Jesus and all that. And so she hears in the background, that's not true. And she's like, wait, what's going on? What are you talking about? That's not, and he came in the room and she said, tell me what you mean. And he said, that's not true. And she said, explain. And he said, Mama Kitty is not in heaven with Jesus unless she accepted Kitty God. Otherwise, she's going to Kitty hell.
Kitty
so
hell.
that's gospel of a 5-year-old.
You bet.
That story, I've always loved that story because he got it.
Yeah, in the words of children.
Yeah, exactly.
In the words of children.
So,
that's great. That's great.
There's a lot of those fun stories, so I'm not sure if I could tell that on this, but
that's so funny.
Gospel of a 5-year-old.
You bet.
So.
You bet. Well, Kellee, we're excited that you're here. We anticipate good ministry to our families and to our children, and nothing less than what has been done here at Trinity Baptist Church. And we appreciate you coming to be part of our team and look forward to what God's going to do in our future.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into Reflections, and I hope that you'll do so again as we again bring opportunities to let you know about events that are taking place here, as well as some of the people who are in charge of those events and bringing those events around. I'm John Wheat again, and thanks for joining us today.